Well, all right. This morning we built a bee abode, a house for wood bees. So let's talk about it. Well, I haven't in the last couple of years seen any honeybees on our property and around the garden. And so apparently there's no hives that are close enough that they're getting over here. And I think everybody notices that there's fewer bees than there used to be, and that's too bad. And that's why I'm very careful if I put Sevin dust where I put it. Getting a little thunder. It's fixing to rain. So I'm just kind of doing this on the spur of the moment. Well, anyway, but what I have noticed in my backyard is a couple of carpenter bees. And they've actually been on my back porch here and drilling a hole or two in the rafters. So, and buzzing around and working. So I thought, well, it'd be nice if I made a little carpenter bee home, hung it on the end of my garage where it was close to the garden. And maybe if I made it easy and gave them a handy place to nest, maybe we develop a few more of them over the next couple of years. And we could do our pollination that way. And then hopefully that's a good plan. So put together a little slideshow that I'm going to that'll be on the video here in a minute. And it just shows the pieces of wood I cut and putting them together, and it shows it hanging on the wall. And what I filled it with is I cut little pieces, little 6-inch pieces of cane. It's no surprise to anybody that I've got a cane patch in my backyard. It's actually out by the alley. It's outside my backyard fence, but it's on my property. It's a little waste piece of property that tends to be swampy, that's hard to mow and stuff, and so growing cane there is a real, pretty good idea. And then the cane ends up being useful in the garden and for things like this. I just had a few leftover canes, so I just cut them all up in like 5-inch long pieces and put them in there. So I didn't get it filled. I didn't have very many pieces of cane left, but for this year. But a lot more growing this year. I think I'm going to have about 15 to 20 come fall and spring. Because that cane patch just gets a little bigger every year. It's really doing good. So I can fill that up every year or two. Maybe I can empty the old ones out and put in new ones, okay, so that there's always a place for wood bees to go and make their little nest. So that's pretty much the deal. Oh, I've got one thing I want to add, because I had somebody question me that had watched, and there's a buddy of mine that lives in town that had watched the last video and asked me why Bob was on a chain. Person was really rather offended that Bob was on the chain, and I just wanted to explain for a second. Bob normally isn't on a chain, and he's not now. But right around the 4th of July, while there were still fireworks going off, we had some neighbors with some loud fireworks, and Bob got scared and he ran away. And he was gone for a couple of days till we found him, So it was only on the chain for a few days so that he wouldn't get lost or hurt in the road or somewhere because he got spooked from fireworks. So I bring him in the house when I can. Usually he just has the run of the backyard and he's perfectly happy that way. So, all right. That's pretty much the story for today. Not a lot going on. I did throw in a picture of my onion harvest. I was real happy with it. I was holding one of the bigger ones. There's a few that size, and I had a few that are just, like ping pong ball size. You know, you never grow a row of everything's all the same size. But I was real pleased with them. They're going to work out. The small ones, you know, I can peel those, pop them in with a roast. The nicer ones I can slice up. So they're in the house, they're in my kitchen, in my basket, kind of drying off for now. So all right, that's what's going on this time in the garden. So thank you. You all have a quality day.